You are watching SEC Softball presented by T-Mobile. And we say welcome to the Ole Miss Softball Complex in Oxford, Mississippi. It's a series finale featuring the 4th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners and those Ole Miss Rebels. Yesterday, in the middle game, Oklahoma's power surge continued. 5 more homers, hit by a bevy of different players. They've won the first 2 games by outscoring Ole Miss 24-2. And in the process, 6 different Sooners have hit a total of 8 long balls this weekend. And so their reputation continues to ring true. They are one of the more explosive offenses in the nation, and today they go for the sweep. So we say welcome upstairs with the Texas A&M Hall of Famer Amanda Scarborough. Kevin Fitzgerald with you. So they didn't just hit homers, they do it in style yesterday, Amanda, in that 14-2 win. They broke an SEC record in the process.
It seemed like they were on a mission. Maybe it was a mission to break the record. Maybe it was just a mission to get mad and score early and continue to score all throughout the game. In game 1, it was close to the first 4 innings. Their offense was slow to get started. But in yesterday's game, they turned it on with those 5 home runs, 8 home runs in this series, and Oklahoma's offense looks unstoppable.
Yeah, and you see it at the bottom there. That is now an SEC record that Oklahoma set yesterday. They have 127 on the season, so they eclipse what Florida did 15 years ago, the previous record holders. For this Rebels team, they're looking to break through today. They have struggled at the plate against Oklahoma's very sturdy, very reliable pitching staff. This is a 3rd straight series the Rebels are facing a top 5 ranked SEC squad. So it has been a very difficult slate for Jamie Traxel's crew right out of the chute. They're trying to turn it around today and see some encouraging signs.
Well, we know that Oklahoma is going to score. They're the best offense in the country. But what Ole Miss can do is start to have some quality at bats of their own and grab some momentum when they have the bats in their hands. So can Ole Miss's offense keep up and show up in this game is going to be what I'm looking for.
You'd say it time and time again, to compete with Oklahoma, you've got to score. Back in the circle today is the senior from Noonan, Georgia. That's Kyra Aycock. She was out there in the opener on Saturday.
And she looked really good to start that game in the opener and did not look intimidated. Of course, she comes from Oklahoma State, so she has experience pitching against this Oklahoma team whenever she was a Cowgirl. So Kyra Aycock had a great start, looking to get some of that same mojo going in Game 3 today.
You see the numbers. She has been one part of that 1-2 punch in the circle this year, along with Emily Boyer. This is Patty Gasso's lineup card. Really the only change is Alyssa Parker is over at first base to start today. Kai Miner gets moved up in the order. This freshman has been remarkable. 2 homers yesterday. She continues to hit well over 500 more than halfway through the season.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch. Great athlete, roams out in center field. We even saw her great arm in center field in yesterday's game.
She could do it all, like many of these Sooners in this lineup, 1 through 9. Series finale, the Sooners are going for another sweep. Last week they swept Auburn. They've won the first 2 games of this series. And away we go just a couple of minutes after 6 local time in Oxford. Really another fine evening, temperatures in the low 60s. The sun's been out all day. It's been a beautiful day around Oxford. Aycock, this senior, a first-year Rebel after she came over, as you mentioned, from Oklahoma State previously. And she faces Cassidy Pickering, who has been at the top of Oklahoma's order all season long. That one was bunted straight down into the dirt and foul. She's got to protect now with 2 strikes.
Yeah, Oklahoma in Game 1 did not score in the first inning, and yesterday's game, in Game 2, they scored 4 runs in the first, and it just really was all Oklahoma from the top of the first on, took control early of the game against Ole Miss.
Swing and a miss, and Pickering goes down. Good start for Aycock.
I was going to say, it would be huge if Ole Miss could get out of this inning with a 0 on the board, going up against 1, 2, and 3 in the order. Aycock going up in the zone, up and in on the hands of Pickering to get that strikeout. I love the way that she attacked the zone to start this game.
Next up, Ella Parker slides up to the 2-hole today. This is the junior from Ladera Heights, California, 2-time All-American. And so in the opener on Saturday, Aycock pitched 4 1/3. Going into that 5th inning, she had allowed just 2 Oklahoma runs. It was a fine first 4 innings for the right-hander before the dam eventually broke. What stood out in your eyes in those first few innings for Aycock?
Yeah, I like the way that she kept the ball down and threw a lot of strikes and really lived on the edges of the plate. I'm interested to see if she goes up in the zone a little bit more today, like we saw her do against Pickering and falling behind here 3-0. In order to have success against these OU hitters, you have to find the strike zone early and attack them. Either the first or second pitch needs to be a strike that you're getting on them.
Oh, she's falling behind a really good hitter in Parker. That fastball is in there for a strike. The most explosive offense in the nation. Enough said. Oklahoma leads the country batting average, slug, OPS, home runs. They're off to this 31-2 start, and they've won 20 in a row. So Parker works the walk, and we have got the nation's home run leader coming up. First, though, tell us about Aycock's arsenal.
Yeah, she'll throw in the upper 60s, even hit 70 miles an hour. Her go-to pitches are going to be her fastball, and her drop ball mostly stays down, so Ole Miss's defense is going to need to come to play, particularly their infield, going to roll them a lot of ground balls. It's another thing about facing OU. You have to play strong defense and clean defense and not give them extra chances.
So here is Wells, this rookie phenom, has gone yard 24 times this season. That is #1 in the nation. 33 games in. It's a large sample size to this point. Went deep twice in that opener. Struck out a couple of times yesterday.
Well, and they found a hole, and they've gone to it already 2 times in this at-bat. She is the current Division I home run leader, ahead of Megan Grant, who's a senior, ahead of Jordan Woolry, both from UCLA, both of them seniors. As a freshman, she finds herself currently leading all Division I players in total home runs. But Ole Miss exposed a weakness in her yesterday with a couple of their strikeouts on the outside corner, drop ball low and away. Just like that, 3 pitches in a row, they have gone to it. They have gotten her to chase that pitch as well. 3 times in a row, right at the knees, going to her drop ball. This one a little bit more up, but it is off the plate. But look, they're going to continue to go to that pitch if Wells is going to chase it.
You know, she had only struck out 9 times entering the weekend in 30-plus games. That is an astoundingly low strikeout rate. So where's Aycock going? The 0-2, wave and a miss. The off-speed gets the job done. That's a couple of strikeouts in this first frame for the righty.
This is right down the pipe, and because I think it is a little bit off speed, it got Wells to swing and miss, but the location of that pitch compared to all the other ones in the at-bat that were off the plate, down in the zone, great pitches. I mean, that one was down the heart and still got a strikeout.
So she is human, evidently. Gabby Garcia on the left side of the plate. This is Oklahoma's 2-year starting shortstop, the sophomore from Chandler, Arizona. You know, every stat line is just eye-popping for every hitter. Every starter in the OU order, you saw the OPS. Everybody's got an OPS better than 1,000. That's on the outside edge for a strike.
And you have to be comfortable throwing to left-handed power hitters if you want to have success against this OU lineup too, because Pickering left-handed with power, Parker same thing, Garcia, Minor, Dayton, and the 9-hole hit a grand slam in yesterday's game. You have to be comfortable throwing to lefties when you face OU.
Wave and a miss. And so Aycock, outside of falling behind Parker there, well, she has established herself early in these counts and at-bats against the top of Oklahoma's order.
And changing speeds very well, taking about 8 miles an hour off of that off-speed pitch and fooling these OU hitters early.
The senior from outside of Atlanta coming home and misses. Parker took off. The throw is on target, and Parker's out. Kennedy Bunker with a strike. It's another runner that she's thrown out this weekend, and that retires the side.
Great momentum early in this game. Exactly what Ole Miss needed. Now let's see if they can take that to their back.
SEC Softball is presented by T-Mobile, America's best network.
Miley Wichenio overwhelmed her former team yesterday at times. 5 strikeouts over those 4 innings, picked up her 8th win. She's now 8-0. And so her counterpart is in the circle today, Sydney Berzon, in this finale. The senior from Buffalo, after 3 wonderful years at LSU, transfers to Oklahoma, and here's a look at her numbers to this point. Berzon, the veteran, gets the start today, faces Kennedy Bunker, Mackenzie Pickens, and Percy Yamas, 1, 2, 3, and Jamie Traxel's lineup card. Bunker just threw out Ella Parker in the top half of the first inning, and the catcher has hit leadoff this weekend and gets a chance to give Ole Miss momentum, or maybe have a chance to throw that first punch of the evening. She takes that for a strike.
And OU has used Berzon a lot in relief. Relied a lot on Audrey Lowry, their lefty starter, who's kind of positioned herself as the ace of the OU staff, as well as Miley Wichenio, who kind of eased her way into the number 2 role. And Berzon, we saw her pitch in yesterday's game, came in relief just for an inning with that Wichenio start. She pitched really well against her old team. So I'm sure Sydney, who's pitched a lot in relief, is excited to get a start here in a new uniform in SEC play.
Off speed, fools Bunker. She rolls that one over, so 1 quick out. You're right, just her 6th start in this 2026 campaign. This is Traxel's lineup card. Looks similar to the first couple of games of this series. Cassie Reisner, that's their starting shortstop, went deep yesterday. That solo home run was first piece of offense for the Rebels. They have been held to just 2 runs in the first 2 games of this series and only 7 hits. It is an Ole Miss lineup that features a number of first-year starters. They graduated a lot of seniors and veterans off of that World Series team a year ago. And so they've had to strategically in the offseason go to the portal. They've started some freshmen as well. Here is one of the returners. That is Mackenzie Pickens, who's been a staple at the top of the order.
Ole Miss has been looking for more leadership from Mackenzie Pickens and Percy Yamas, a couple of returners that were on that World Series team. So many new faces, whether it be transfers or freshmen. A lot of turnover with seniors who graduated and freshmen and transfers coming in.
2-1 pitch is hit hard. This one is tailing out towards the wall, and Minor's got just enough room to make the catch.
Yeah, first thing Pickens did was look up at the flagpole whenever she got to first base, thinking, how did that one not get out? Did a great job of getting underneath a Sydney Berzon drop ball. And throw in the mid-60s, her go-to is going to be that drop ball, but great job of Pickens of setting the tone for this offense as Berzon throws a ton of ground balls, going to be up to these Ole Miss hitters to get their barrels to the bottom half of that drop ball.
Berzon, a seasoned veteran at this point. 2-time All-American, her first 3 years at LSU, every season wound up on the SEC All-Conference team. She's out ahead of this very productive bat. Percy Yamas, along with Maddie George, has been the most effective hitters in the order this year for the Rebels. And so Berzon, after those 3 years, goes into the transfer portal, very much a coveted and prized player in the portal. She goes to Oklahoma. And what a piece of pitching depth, by the way, to add to this pitching group this year. She goes 1, 2, 3 in the first inning. Scoreless after 1. Garcia leads things off for Oklahoma in the top half of the second. Yesterday, she went deep not once, but drove in a number of runs in yesterday's win. Went yard in the first inning. That was one of the 5 home runs hit yesterday, and that officially broke the SEC single-season home run record. Oklahoma with 100. They break the record at the game 33 mark, which is just astounding.
I mean, this has been the offense everybody has been talking about this year with those home run numbers. Just truly astounding what they've been able to do just 33 games into this season. Just continue to hit the long ball even against SEC opponents now.
I mean, the home run rate it's just eye-popping. What I found most intriguing was so far this weekend, 8 homers by 6 different players too. Everybody, they all are performing at an elite level preparation-wise. You theorized it yesterday. Could they hit 200? This is Kyra Aycock, who's back in the circle, faced the minimum in the first inning.
Well, it's just the exit velocity, that the speed that the ball comes off of the bat of these OU hitters is just different. So it leads to a lot of extra hits. Even ground balls turn into hits because they get through the infield. And even balls that look like they're just going to be pop-ups to the outfield just continue to carry. All of that goes back to their strength, their conditioning that Patty Gasso raves about, the work that they put in to get stronger, to create higher exit velocities that lead to more home runs and more hits.
That's in for a strike. And so at this point, it's just a matter of when. It's Oklahoma from a few years back that has the Division I single-season home run record as a team. 161 is the total. It's at this point a matter of just when are they going to reset that Division I record.
They're definitely on track to beat that. And as you mentioned, we talked about yesterday, are they going to get to 200? I mean, wouldn't that be something? If the record is 161 currently and they get to 200, I mean, that seems like it would be a record that would never be broken if they get there. Which is probably how we felt about 161.
Yeah, I think there's only one program that could break it. This one mishandled by Pickens, so Garcia is aboard. Kai Miner went deep twice yesterday. She faces Aycock in a moment.
And these are the types of things you cannot do when you face Oklahoma, is give them extra chances. A weakly hit ground ball, that 100% of the time has to be an out. You have to play clean defense, limit the free passes, because you know OU is going to swing big, and you don't want anybody to be on base when they do that.
Aycock misses low, the senior from outside of Atlanta. A good first inning, struck out a pair. How good and how consistently has this freshman played 30 games into her career?
Yeah, she definitely doesn't play like a freshman. You see when she steps into the box, just really calm, poised.
A little run and hit back to the circle. There's one. Miner will be safe at first. And so that time Garcia took off on the pitch. Miner put that one into play. Ole Miss gets the out, but you've got a very fast runner and Miner aboard.
So that did not help Ole Miss's cause for a double play there because of her athleticism. No chance to turn a double play, even though that ball came off of her bat very quickly, got to 2 quickly, but she's just so fast.
Alyssa Parker, this very impressive two-way stud. It's another freshman in the lineup, gets the start today in the finale. She is over at first base.
A lot of different things that you can do with somebody like Alyssa Parker. She pitches, she can hit home runs, you can put her at first base. She's played, I think, just about every defensive position besides catcher. So versatile. This freshman class for OU, really, they all are. A lot of versatility on this team, a lot of athleticism, but probably none more than what Alyssa Parker has already done this year as a freshman.
Oh, the one position that they didn't bring back a starter from a year ago on that World Series team, that was over at first base. So who was going to step in and fill that void? And Parker has definitely been the most consistent option over there, has started the most games of any player over at first. 1-1, bouncer right back to the circle. So Miners into scoring position, and a couple of weakly hit grounders here off of Aycock in this inning. Jamie Traxel, the 6th-year boss from Duluth, Minnesota, last year guided this program to its first ever Women's College World Series. What a remarkable run to Oklahoma City. She has won everywhere she's been. North Dakota State, Iowa State, Minnesota, and she is wearing the microphone today on Mic'd Up Monday. So we are going to take you inside her dugout a number of times tonight. This is really insightful, enriching access. You get to, we put the microphone on these coaches and to hear some great inside stuff. This is Ailana Agbayani up for the first time today. Count goes even against the very good second baseman. Aycock faced the minimum in the first. He's got 2 outs in the second. Now, Agbayani has reached base a couple of times via the walk this weekend. She is hitless, though, in Oxford.
You can tell that Aycock's ball is moving. She has some good zip on these pitches tonight. Her down stuff is moving hard, and she's been able to throw her off-speed pitch effectively this first time through the order.
1-2. That time, Agbayani doesn't bite.
It's a huge pickup to get somebody like Kyra Aycock to Ole Miss after losing Aaliyah Binford and Brianna Lopez and Miley Wichenio. A couple to graduation, and then one, of course, to the transfer portal.
He's trying to shut down the side in the second. Swing and a miss. So Aycock faces the minimum.
Yeah, this veteran is stepping up in the circle for Ole Miss and creating this energy that they need. Strikeout there.
Hey, work your feet! Your best! Your best! Get her! Go! Hang on, girl!
Mic'd Up Monday featuring the 6th-year boss, Jamie Traxel. We thank her for wearing the microphone. Always great access there. And so Kennedy Bunker threw out that runner in the top half of the first inning. Aycock has struck out 3, and so 2 scoreless frames for Aycock and the Rebels. They go to work in the bottom of the second. Maddie George, really impressive freshman, takes that first pitch for a strike against Sydney Berzon. George, this rookie slugger, is off to a scorching start. Has hit a team best 404 to this point and leads the squad with 9 homers. Ole Miss trying to get on the board first It did not do that in either of the first 2 games. And I wonder if you would agree. It seems like what Aycock and this Ole Miss defense has done in the field feel a little more life and bounce in that dugout in the early innings tonight.
It's just so important to remember that every game is a new game, that those runs that OU scored on Saturday and in yesterday's game, they don't carry over to today's game. So you have to find a way as a player to start fresh. And look, when you're playing OU, you approach it, we have nothing to lose. Everybody is expecting them to win.
Oh yeah, and how about this? An aggressive swing and a liner down the line. Georgia's got extra bases to kick off the second.
And they know when they're seeing their freshman Maddie George swing like this that they're going to feel good all throughout their lineup, able to set the tone as a freshman, go down and get that drop ball before it has that break. Sweet, beautiful left-handed swing with some power right down the right field line that stays fair for extra bases. Maddie George, that is a good-looking swing. And a couple of swings now, 2 out of the 4 hitters for Ole Miss are doing a great job going up against that Berzon drop ball, getting their barrel to the bottom half of the ball to not create a ground ball, but to create more of a line drive or deep fly ball.
You know, so it's a series finale here. In the first couple of games for Oklahoma, we saw the typical starters. We saw Audrey Lowry, we saw Miley Wachenio. Rosales goes to pinch run at second. And then today for the finale, it's Berzon for Oklahoma.
A lot of options for Oklahoma. Patty Gasso trying to get some experience and get some SEC experience for these pitchers.
Cassie Biesner takes that one for a strike. Oklahoma, another weekend without its trusted longtime pitching coach Jen Rocha, who before the start of the season took a leave of absence due to health reasons. And so another weekend, Carly Keeney acts as the acting pitching coach in that dugout alongside Patty Gasso and the staff. They used Berzon for 1 inning last night to close that game. And she is right back in the circle today in this finale. There's Keeney.
Yeah, former Oklahoma pitcher that was basically called in to the rescue pretty late, right before season started because of health reasons for Jen Rocha, and a challenge that Patty Gasso told us about. He used that word, just speaking about how tough it's been for her to coach and without having Jen Rocha, and how instrumental that she is as a part of this program. One of, if not the best pitching coaches in the country, one of the most respected humans in our game is Jen Rocha. But Carly Keeney doing a great job coming in to help her alma mater when they needed her.
She was on that 2024 national championship team. Biesner rolls that one over to her counterpart. 1 out, George stays put. And you get the sense, Gasso and company, that they are they're in communication with Rocha. Very excited for her return when that does happen. Taylor Roman swings through that pitch to kick off this at-bat. They've only allowed the 2 earned runs and just 8 hits. That 8th just a couple of moments ago, George's double. You know, it was an interesting position that Keeney was put in. It was very much called very close to the start of the season. Patty Gasso said, hey, we need you. You interested in doing this? And Keeney, to her credit, said, Coach, whatever you need, I'll be there. And it's an interesting position that she has been in, getting up to speed on everything.
Yeah, and it takes some getting used to work with these pitchers, to be able to learn not only to work with their mechanics in the bullpen and keep their mindset in a good place and understanding their strengths for pitch calling, but then to actually get into the game and help with pitch calling and charting pitches and looking at opponents.
Oh, Roman goes fishing for that one. Good pitch. They got to complete the strikeout. Now Wells was hesitant, was looking the runner back, and very luckily completes that strikeout. The throw gets down there before Roman could beat it out. 2 gone.
And that one was for sure a drop third strike. We saw a little bit of a controversy with yesterday, but we know this one was. But Kendall Wells blocks that changeup, gets the out at first base. Berzon going to that changeup in the dirt, getting a home run hitter out in Roman. That's a big deal with a runner in scoring position, and these are the times that you have to be better at if you're Ole Miss. You don't know how many opportunities you're going to get against a staff and a defense like Oklahoma has. When you have runners in scoring position, you have to capitalize.
Leilani Applin, the left fielder, has started all 3 games in this series. That is booted by Parker, and then no one's at the base. Agbayani thought somebody was there. Ole Miss brings a run in. So the Rebels do strike in this second inning. They make Oklahoma a little bit of a fortuitous break and a bounce, and they make the Sooners pay.
Yeah, well, they'll take it. Scoring first, as you mentioned, for the first time in this series against OU. This easily should have been out number 3, but miscommunication between Parker and Agbayani, as Agbayani just continued to make that throw or make that play to first base, thinking that Parker was either there or going to get there quicker. Quite a mistake there that you're not used to seeing from the Oklahoma defense. We talk a lot about their offense, of course, and it's explosive, but Patty Gasso and the Oklahoma defense are usually one of the best in the country at defense.
Well, their fielding percentage, they're top 10 in the nation. You know, it's rare to see them make 1 error. When's the last time they've made 2 errors on 1 play? Can we get a game note for that, by the way? Our friend Brock, you might have to go deep in the record book for that one. Ryan Starr now has a chance perhaps to bring in another Rebel run. Only 7 at-bats on the year for Starr. You see she's hitless. Has started all 3 games in this series, is getting some additional opportunities over at third. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. That is a 2 errors on 1 play. And that second, of course, allows the run to score.
We saw Bella Emerling play at first base earlier in the series. And, you know, what's really put this OU defense into a little bit of a pickle as well is the injury to Nellie McEnroe-Marinas, their starting third baseman, who was their captain last year. Great All-American type player. She went down with an injury that kind of shuffled around this Oklahoma defense. So then Sydney Barker, and they actually is there now, but they actually had third base tryouts.
That's hit hard right off of Berzon. She's trying to stick with it, nowhere to go, and wisely just puts it in her back pocket. So Ryan Starr, I would assume that's going to be scored. That would be her first hit of the season, and it keeps this inning going.
She hit this so hard right back at Berzon, who couldn't get her glove to it. And it's not very often I see someone go feet first into first base, which didn't really matter. There wasn't a play at first base. But somebody, you know, you'll see somebody dive head first to first base, but not very often you see feet first.
Katie out there in the circle just to settle Berzon down. The acting pitching coach, she had a good sense of humor, evidently. But in this moment, just trying to settle everything down. Good pitching circle visit, pardon me. So here is that slide.
Ole Miss is playing hard. Here we go, though. Feet first. How often do you see that? Like never?
That is somebody desperate for that first hit, whatever it takes. For Starr, it's got to feel good. This senior from Long Island, 3rd year with the program. You know, she's generally used as a defensive replacement pinch runner, so she's gotten a few starts this weekend and gets that first hit.
I saw her play a lot of shortstop last year in that World Series team. And again, if you're Ole Miss, you want this run that's standing 60 feet away. 1 just doesn't really feel like enough at this point in this inning. When you have a couple of runners on, they're giving you extra opportunities with a couple of errors. You want to drive 1 more in.
There's an 0-1 to Taylor Malvin. And if you're the Rebels, this is a nice bat to have at the plate in this moment. One of the program vets, the senior from Georgia, has hit at the top of the order and leadoff for much of this season. This weekend, she's been down in the 9 hole. Takes that 1-1 on the outside edge. The Rebels get a run in the second inning after a couple of errors. Malvin trying to bring in another. Berzon misses low. Wells will not throw down to second, and Starr is in scoring position.
They have a little bit of speed at second base, one through the infield that gets to the outfield. Likely going to score 2 and not just 1 here. This is a big moment for Malvin, the senior, and this Ole Miss team.
Berzon's got 2 strikes on her. 2-2 rolled through the right side. It's a base hit. Applin scores, throw to the plate. Starr is out. Inning is over. The Rebels do get a couple of runs, but an absolute seed from Parker in right field. Guns the runner at the plate. Traxel says, hold on a second. I want us to challenge this and take a look.
The play at the plate was ruled as an out. That call is being challenged by Ole Miss.
And a lot that you could look for on this play at the plate. Oftentimes you're looking and hoping that there's some obstruction. What a play by Ella Parker, do or die, making this throw. They call her a professional hitter, but this right here is a professional defensive play. That throw was absolute money to Kendall Wells to keep the ball in her glove, to secure the tag. Just so well played. Remember, that's the home run hitter catching that ball in from right field. 24 home runs, and she can make plays like that to finish off defensive assists coming from the outfield. That is impressive. I think that this is going to stand. I think that they tag her. I think that Kendall Wells looks like she's in a good position to avoid obstruction.
After further review, the call in the field is confirmed. Runner is out. There was no obstruction.
Yeah, great call, partner. That was one element that they were looking at before making that official. What a throw from Parker. But it's the Rebels on top first in Oxford. Oklahoma giveth, but sometimes it taketh away. That base hit brought 1 run in for the Rebels. And Taylor Malvin thought it was going to be a 2-run single, if not for Ella Parker's absolute bullet to home plate. Picked nicely by Wells. And Parker, for the 3rd out of the inning, throws out Starr, trying to score from second.
Well, and a really great job of putting herself, Kendall Wells, in a position to avoid obstruction. That's such a big reason that coaches want to challenge that. It's not necessarily thinking that their player got to the bag before the tag was made, but hoping that the defender put herself in a position that would overturn it to obstruction. So that's really what Jamie Traxel was going for. Not that Starr got there safely, but hoping that Kendall Wells, that there was something about that play that would cause obstruction to get overturned and to create a run for Ole Miss.
Nevertheless, the Rebels do have the early edge, and that's got to feel very good for Kyra Aycock. Oklahoma with no runs in these first 2 innings. First time this series they have been shut out in the first 2 frames. Swing, that one is out to center. Malvin has it lined up, 1 away. Aycock pitching really well and pitching with a lead.
Yeah, this first time through the order, she's done a great job of showing a little bit of everything. When she goes down, she's living on the edges, showing up just enough to move their eye level up. Even on that 2-0 count there, getting Barker to pop up that rise ball that she threw that's more up in the zone and changing speeds very well.
First pitch to Abby Dayton. This is the 9-hitter, who is one of the more skilled hitters in the order. She's one of 3 hitting 500 or better. Dayton hammered that grand slam yesterday that just completely broke that second game open. A very similar start to this game as in game 1. Her prior start against these Sooners, where she, in the first 4 innings, only allowed 2 runs against OU in the opener. Rosales, by the way, takes George's spot in right.
Yeah, Abby Dayton is kind of a cool story because she told me how last year when she was growing up, or last year she told me when she was growing up that her dad had her do FFA and she ended up loving it, raised animals, and she felt like that had such a big impact on her becoming a good softball player and also the work ethic and time management that went into it. And so what she ended up doing was making money on her own to be able to go to lessons. So that's how she got a chance to have private lessons. Her parents didn't pay for it. She raised money on her own to be able to earn that and become a better softball player.
That is impressive. Fouls that one back. There's just a lot of really it's a well-rounded softball team. There's just a bevy of these well-rounded individuals on the field, off the field.
Just a hard worker, blue-collar player.
Good eye. Count goes full.
Really good eye on that outside corner, putting more pressure on Aycock. This payoff pitch coming with a full count, but you know, a few balls off the plate. Great height, but definitely a ball. Good eye by Dayton with 2 strikes.
Over to short, Reisner pulls it in, and so Aycock has retired the first 2 here. She faced the minimum in the first inning. She has struck out 3, and 1 time through the order has allowed 0 hits.
She's looked locked in. I mean, look at these breaths and her routine and the focus that she's had. Again, a player with experience pitching against an offense from Oklahoma.
Patty Gasso sharing a quick word with Cassidy Pickering. For Aycock, it's a step back into this, a starring role, so to speak. Last year at Oklahoma State, only 22 innings pitched. Hit the portal, new opportunity, has been reliable.
Struggled with command at times, but look at what a veteran move this is by Patty Gasso to call timeout, to talk to Pickering, understanding the momentum swing here. Ole Miss just scored those couple of runs. Aycock gets a quick couple of outs, and she knows, hey, before we go 3 up, 3 down here, I want to have a little chat and slow this thing down, understanding the importance of momentum in this game. That's something that you don't often notice, but she called timeout on purpose for a momentum swing, trying to get momentum back on their side if Pickering can get on here.
First time they have trailed in this series. Pickering fouls that one back to the net. It has just been a sensational start for this junior from Texas. She's on a 31 game. They've only played 33 games, 31 straight on base for Pickering. So, in other words, she's getting on base essentially every game this season. Just so much power at the top of this order. Let's see what she gets here. A 2-1 count. Swings and hammers it. That's off the bag, and it bounces into right field. And And so is that, sometimes all you need is just one favorable bounce to bust out of a mini slump.
Easily could have been 3 up, 3 down if Llamas is able to make that play and turn it into a 3U, but bounce does go their way. We saw 3 or 4 hits go the way of OU in yesterday's game, along with those 5 home runs, hits that just barely fell in.
Ella Parker at the plate. She threw out the runner to put an end to the second at home plate. 15 homers for Parker, so your top 2 hitters in the order, 15, 15, and then Wells with the 24 sitting on deck. Amanda, you know as well as anybody, you're always in a one swing can change the complexion of a game facing Oklahoma.
Well, and I love this leadership tactic here by Kennedy Bunker, who is a veteran catcher that Ole Miss got. She's doing a great job communicating with Aycock. You see her working hard back behind the plate, just like Patty Gasso felt the momentum. Bunker, the veteran back behind the plate, felt the momentum to go out and talk to Aycock to try to get her focused back into this AB right here for that very point that you mentioned. They need her to make great pitches, quit falling from behind, work from ahead, and attack the zone.
Right back to the circle, inning over. 3 scoreless innings for Kyra Aycock, the senior from Newnan, Georgia, dialed in.
This time, she hit that into the street.
Tegan Gavon, she has fanned a dozen. A 2-homer inning for Kendall Wells.
Elite matchups around the league. What else is new? That's next weekend. I think we'll highlight a couple of here. Top 10 battle, Florida and Arkansas, Texas A&M and Texas. And I think the series of the weekend, this past weekend, Florida and Tennessee, the Gators winning a couple of very competitive, low-scoring, and in that finale, a 1-run victory over Tennessee to take 2 out of 3 from the #1 ranked team in the nation.
Yeah, Keegan Rothrock pitched really well for Florida, and that was just a great series in Gainesville. Gainesville is not an easy place to play if you're Tennessee to go into, and I felt like a couple of gritty wins for Florida to take that series against the #1 ranked team.
Berzon faces the top of the order. Kennedy Bunker takes that one off her right shoulder. Berzon just trying to straighten things out. She allows the 2 runs in the second. However, 2 errors were commit behind her. And so these Rebels have that 2-0 lead. Here are some of the other notable outcomes around the SEC this past weekend. Texas's win streak continues. It's won 26 in a row. Oh, by the way, Oklahoma has won 20 in a row. And Georgia winning a really difficult series against Mississippi State. Pickens moves the runner over. Ole Miss has got another potential run sitting in scoring position.
I feel like Mississippi State's pitching staff has really stuck out to me. Of course, Georgia's offense is they're known for with their head coach, Tony Baldwin, but Mississippi State's pitching staff is really good, and why they are a top 15 team this year. I mean, their pitchers are probably the best that I've seen Mississippi State's pitching staff look.
No better hitter to be up at the plate at this moment. Percy Llamas, that's their top returning hitter from a season ago on that World Series team. The all-conference slugger trying to bring in Bunker.
Yeah, and this is a player that doesn't look like she has a heartbeat when she's up. We saw her come through last year at some really key moments as a freshman, especially when I got to the month of May in the SEC tournament and regionals and World Series. She just didn't let any moment get too big.
Off the end of the bat, hit hard. Barker handles that nicely. You got 2 out.
A well-struck ball with nothing to show for it, but Sydney Barker, who's over there because of the injury of Nellie McEnroe Marinas, handles it well, looks to run her back to second base and makes that long throw. And because of the way that she played that, Ole Miss not able to advance 60 feet to turn that hard hit into a productive out.
So Bunker got hit to start the inning, moved over to second on the sacrifice. Maddie George takes that at the knees for a strike.
I kind of love that they just went back in on the first pitch of the at-bat. Remember, that was the same pitch, low and in, a drop ball that George doubled. And Berzon probably recognizing she didn't throw the best pitch on that double. She says, I'm going to go right back to it. It's a veteran pitcher. Remember, Sydney Berzon, All-American, has SEC experience, not scared to go inside with that drop ball, even though George punished it to the right side in her first AB.
Berzon lets it rip. That's tapped back foul. So she's a strike away from stranding another runner in scoring position. These battle-tested Rebels, they faced Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma now this weekend, right out of the chute, their first 3 SEC series. You see that 0-8 mark? I mean, they have really been challenged, and they've got the lead here. That's in the dust. Runner advances.
Well, and then next they have to play Tennessee. So the way that they start SEC play is with 4 different top 5 opponents, or top 10 opponents at the very least.
All currently, yes, in the top 10 right now. And so we can just feel life, energy. There's a vibe in that third base dugout right now. They've got an early lead. 2-2 is rolled foul, and they are trying to build on it. And that margin for error, it's always so thin against Oklahoma, regardless of the opponent. And just another opportunity for Ole Miss to continue landing some punches early.
Yeah, looking like they want to get on the same page here with Sydney Berzon wanting to talk to the freshman Kendall Wells, and understanding Maddie George, arguably the best hitter in the Ole Miss lineup this year, wanting to make sure that they get on the same page with the runner 60 feet away, trying to find a way to get her out.
George from Leander, Texas, taps it foul again. And so the battle ensues between the veteran and the rookie.
You just see with that look in her eyes and this intensity, she is looking to hit.
Off speed, got her out in front of it. Is there a play? Looks like there's enough space for Parker. Inning over. So Berzon winds up stranding that runner at third. Nice job getting out of that.
The senior Kyra Aycock getting the start for Ole Miss, trying to avoid a sweep and going right at these these OU hitters. 3 strikeouts for Aycock tonight, being able to work the inside corner just enough and up in the zone when she needs to. Has set the tone from the first inning and then brought it into the Ole Miss offense to score those 2 runs and give them the 2-0 lead.
One of those first-year Rebels in the circle this season. She has had a great rhythm and pace in the circle to this point. Fearless, I would describe the way she's working right now. And so just a little more than once through the order has allowed the 1 hit. That is all. And 1 walk in addition to that. She's facing the teeth of this order now once again. Kendall Wells, Gabby Garcia, Kai Miner. So Ole Miss loses its entire pitching staff from a year ago, that World Series team. It was a veteran group. Number of seniors moved on. Wells drills it. Oh, it's a no-doubter for Kendall Wells. Her nation-leading 25th of the season.
Aggressive, swinging early in the count, looking to hit that outside pitch, which is where they had been throwing her in yesterday's game and today's game. And with how much Wells had been chasing pitches, I don't know why that pitch was elevated on the outside corner. That needed to be low and away. She had proven in her last 4 or 5 at-bats that she would not lay off of a drop ball down, low and away, well off the plate. And they had success with that. That pitch was too sweet.
That was just a no-doubter. Garcia takes that one in for a strike.
And no reason to throw her there when they had had so much success on drop balls that were essentially at her shoelaces. But Kendall Wells looking to hit early in the count, gets a mistake, and absolutely drives it.
She looked off balance in that first at-bat, and then yesterday as well. But against Aycock, she has done damage.
And look at this pitch location early in the count. This pitch is more elevated and just middle out. A hitter like Kendall Wells is saying, thank you for not throwing me that drop ball that falls off the table. But best part about that home run for Aycock, nobody was on.
Look at Garcia, meanwhile, flailing at that pitch. So Aycock trying to bounce back. This Wells story it's remarkable. This freshman from Georgia leads the nation in homers. She's got this incredible raw power, but the preparation is astounding as well.
I saw her hit 2 home runs in game 1 of this series and then struggled in yesterday's game as well as in her first at bat. So great job of just adjusting quickly, seeing a mistake, not second guessing herself in her mind, which is so easy to do as a hitter when you've struck out a few times and you're chasing, just trusting your eyes and being aggressive early in the count.
Swing and a miss. Aycock bounces right back by getting Garcia chasing that pitch.
A great job here of Aycock of just coming back right after that home run, getting ahead of Garcia and then changing speeds multiple times. Love the way that she's mixing in that changeup. She's getting these OU hitters well out in front. That was well placed and a great rebound from the home run.
Here's Kai Miner. Maybe we'll talk to Patty about her home run hitter. She's told us she's not, don't forget, she's kind of the life of the party. Very personable, outgoing as well.
That's Kendall is the life of the party. Well, I guess Patty Gasso is the life of the party too. But I just want to make it clear, you know, you are talking about the freshman who you don't hear about very often being a freshman being the life of the party.
Yes.
But that is Kendall Wells.
Miner's in the driver's seat, one of her class of 2025 classmates. Reached on a fielder's choice previously. Takes that one in for a strike.
Well, you were really onto something, Kevin, with how Jamie Traxel has structured this coaching staff and what she's been able to put together the past couple of years. And last year, I mean, getting Erin Earlywine as their hitting coach, getting Nancy Evans as their pitching coach. A couple of big moves as Kai Miner walks there in the offseason to build a coaching staff full of winners. I mean, Erin Earlywine knew how to win. Nancy Evans knows how to win as well. Erin Earlywine took the job at Texas. Steve Singleton, who was their hitting coach, ended up taking the head coaching job at Cal. And Erin Earlywine left Ole Miss after a year to go be the hitting coach now at Texas. So had to kind of scramble a little bit right before season to fill that spot. But Bobby Buchanan is there next to her, another one of their hitting coaches. She kind of likes to have two that work in tandem with each other. And Nancy Evans is a very well-known pitching coach and one of the best pitchers to ever play at Arizona.
Alyssa Parker up for the second time today. It was interesting to hear Jamie detail. She's got a formula behind how she wants that staff to be structured. It's in for a strike. She wants a couple of savvy hitting minds.
And they brought in Morgan Claveman to take the place of Erin Earlywine, but really likes the way that two offensive coaches work together. One kind of game planning and being in the weeds about plan, and then one being in the weeds about more mechanics, so plan and approach, and then also mechanical approach. But she really likes that duo. Bobby Buchanan worked with Erin Earlywine last year. That was the duo that worked together, and then Erin leaves, and Morgan Claveman comes in.
There's a 1-2 from Aycock. Wave and a miss. Down goes Parker. It's now 5 punch-outs for Aycock.
To have success against OU hitters, you have to be able to change speeds, and it's what Aycock is doing so well, and not too much, but just enough, and taking about 8 miles an hour off of this off-speed pitch that has OU out in front.
Terrific start. Agbayani swings and misses. I mean, these OU hitters, they are off balance right now. Even the balls that they have put into play, of course, outside of the Wells blast, we've seen a lot of weakly hit grounders that have stayed in the infield in the opening innings. Count evens at a ball and a strike. The Sooners have just the 2 hits. That's it. They have just 2. Nearly 4 innings into this one. One from the righty. Check swing, Miner on the go. That one's into center, and Miner does stay put. Ole Miss is lucky that that wasn't maybe 2 bases that Miner took right there. She could really fly. Instead, decided to stay put.
Yeah, Bunker already threw someone out earlier. But with the speed of Miner, she's most times going to be safe down there. She is so quick.
She's in scoring position. Ailana Agbayani bounces it off of the pitcher's mitt. Is there time? Pickens gets the out. They stick with it, and it preserves the Ole Miss lead.
Great play by Pickens to finish this, knowing she had to be so quick.
Home fourth, 2-1 score. Ole Miss in front in this finale. We say hello for the first time tonight to the Hall of Famer. That's Patty Gasso. Coach, thanks for taking a moment to do this. So almost twice through the, 2 times through the order for your group against Kyra Aycock tonight. What do you make of the at-bats? What have you noticed?
I think we're pressing a little bit. She's throwing really well, throwing hard, hitting good spots. So we just got to be a little more patient. I think we've wasted some at-bats by not being very competitive. So we've talked about that. Got to run out of it, hoping to turn this around here.
Coach Sydney Berzon's first start with you in SEC play. What have you seen from her start?
I like it. I think she's done well. We had a mishap over here that turned into 2 errors and a run score. I think she's handled herself very well, and that's part of our plan going forward for our future in the SEC.
Coach, thanks for doing this. Good luck the rest of the weekend and the season.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
You know, these Monday games are really tricky a bit for these teams because after the game, Oklahoma will charter back to Norman, so they'll get in pretty late, and not the entire support staff gets to hop on that charter. So a lot of them will be on the bus driving back to Norman, including somebody like Tiare Jennings on the support staff. So just a really unique kind of Monday night touch that they have to go through.
Oh, this one is hammered, by the way, to start the fourth. Biesner sends it all the way to the track, a long out. She went deep yesterday and nearly does it again today.
Yeah, there are a couple of balls to center field that just have died off the bat of Pickens and then now off the bat of Reisner, that Miner is looking back at the wall thinking it's going to go over, and then she backs up against the wall and makes the catch.
I'll come clean. That had me. I thought that one had enough. Based on the way these balls were just jumping out of here yesterday.
Yeah, off the bat of Oklahoma, the ball just comes off, I think, with that little extra higher exit velocity, and really that's the difference between it getting out of here and being an out.
Taylor Roman fouls that first pitch off. We've had great weather all weekend. Yesterday, temperatures were in the 80s at our first pitch. Temperatures about 20 degrees cooler tonight. Roman falls behind in the count 0-2. And so Berzon has retired 4 in a row now. The 2 runs that have scored against her unearned. That's the second time she's fanned Roman. 2 quick outs.
She can change speeds so well. It's something that she did very well at LSU, constantly manipulating her spin, constantly manipulating her speeds. This is what we've seen her do her entire career. And I mean, Kyra Aycock is pitching really well, but Sydney Berzon has pitched really well in this game too. Looked very comfortable for OU.
Chopped hard to Barker. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning. What did she throw? Maybe 5 or 6 pitches, that's all. So she's retired 6 in a row. Really settling in right now in a fun game at Oxford. You are watching SEC Softball presented by T-Mobile. Back in Oxford, Mississippi at this very beautiful Ole Miss Softball Stadium. Second year of this Brand new state-of-the-art facility. At the top of the SEC standings are the two teams that were projected to finish 1-2 in that preseason coaches poll. That was Texas and Oklahoma, respectively. You see Florida sits just right behind them there, you know, by win percentage. But they have gotten off to a really fine start, especially this past weekend, winning 2 out of 3 from Tennessee. That was maybe the most notable outcome from the weekend.
I remember Alabama and Tennessee were two of the last teams to lose. They were undefeated for the longest time, them and Grand Canyon. So Alabama and Tennessee off to great starts. And then, of course, Oklahoma and Texas. What great additions they were last year to the SEC. It feels like to me that they've been in part of the SEC for forever. But Oklahoma came in punching. Texas came in punching, winning the first national championship, OU, SEC championship.
Yeah. I still would have liked to have seen that SEC title game. You're Aggie. Listen, would have liked to see it. Everybody, I think, would have as well.
Yeah, between Texas A&M and Oklahoma, I think that would have been a good one.
The tournament co-champs at the end of last year. If you remember that wacky sequence, inclement weather essentially canceled the SEC championship game. So the leadoff hitter in this 5th inning is Sydney Barker. She's behind in the count, 0-2. The story to this point has been what the senior from Noonan, Georgia has done in the circle against Oklahoma. A season-high tying 5 strikeouts for Kyra Aycock. She's allowed just 2 hits, nearly twice through the order. Really good start. There she comes. That's low. And she has been very diligent about living there, low in the zone, against these Sooner hitters.
Yeah, going up when she needs to, but changing speeds very well. Wouldn't be surprised to see Sydney Barker get an off-speed pitch here in this 1-2 count.
Swing, a liner, playable for Rosales. 1 away.
It was a little bit off-speed. Great swing by Sydney Barker to protect that outside corner, let that pitch travel. It worked deep into her window, but one of those hits that's just right at someone, but going to get a lot of love from her teammates after that one.
Aycock pitched against Oklahoma on Saturday. In the first 4 innings of that game, allowed just 2 earned runs. It was the 5th inning. That was when the dam broke, and she gave up a couple of big blasts. Oklahoma ultimately won that first game 10-0 in run rule fashion. So Jamie Traxel's got her lineup card out, speaking with Smokey Eds, our home plate umpire.
Doing a little outfield shuffle here for Ole Miss. Where Maddie George was in right field, got that line drive, and maybe caused Jamie Traxel to be like, oh yeah, I meant to put a defensive replacement out there in right field, but teammates giving Maddie George a lot of love as she came in, and I'll see some different faces in the outfield for Ole Miss.
That's Liesl Osteen, who is out in center right now. You know, and good catch. Pardon me. Boy, I mentioned Rosales. Rosales was out there as a defensive replacement a couple of innings ago. And so in right field now, Leilana Applin. George has got a case, Coach. Hey, I lined that one up.
And then I think Malvin moves over to left field. So definitely a little outfield shuffle here in the 5th inning.
That is a true shuffle. So 1 out into the frame, and we've got an entirely different looking outfield. Malvin was in center. Osteen is there now, and Applin in right. Every detail important. At this point, you've got a 1-run lead as we push into the later innings now against mighty Oklahoma that has won 20 straight games. 2-1 advantage for the home team. Abby Dayton grounded out to shortstop her last time up. Aycock at Ole Miss this season back into a starring role. Last season, only pitched 22 innings. That's it for Oklahoma State. She spent 3 years in Stillwater. Her highest usage was her freshman season, was a really reliable arm on a good 2023 Oklahoma State team. Logged almost 100 innings.
I like the way that she's been able to work hard inside to these OU hitters, something that I felt like Ole Miss pitchers went away from after the first couple of home runs that they hit. They started just to rely on the outside corner and stay there and stay there. She's been able to move the ball around a lot. So even there, Bunker was set up on the inside corner, and that pitch fell out of her hand just for what looked to be like a wild pitch. But Bunker, they're trying to go back inside to these lefties again, and you have to establish the inside corner going up against OU's hitters.
This dangerous, explosive lineup. There's a 3-1 pitch. Dayton, takes it on the outside corner. So that does get enough for the outside edge.
Great job by Bunker to frame up this pitch. Look at her get that pitch inside of her shoulders and help Aycock get that for a called strike.
Here comes a payoff. 2 gone in the 5th. So twice through this order, Aycock has allowed just the 2 hits. That's all. 5 strikeouts, 5 groundouts, a couple of air outs, but Oklahoma, they are largely being retired here on those groundouts. Cassidy Pickering has 1 of the 2 hits. That was a single in the 3rd. This one's hit high in the air, tracking back towards the wall. Malvin's got enough room. Ole Miss leads by a run. We're going to the home 5th, and we'll talk to Jamie Traxel about this really strong performance to this point next. Pushing into the late innings now in Oxford. Ole Miss tried to build upon its lead at the plate in the home 5th. But first, we say hello to the 6th-year head coach. That is Jamie Traxel. Coach, thanks for putting on the headset here. No place to start other than Kyra Aycock and what she's done to this point. 5 strong innings. What have you noticed, and how would you describe the performance today?
Just gutsy, you know. She's done a great job attacking the zone. I think just challenging the spot that's being called to, you know, and, you know, we're obviously mindful of Wells, and that pitch probably got away from her, but we're like, just go for it every pitch without fear of the result, and I think she's done a great job of that so far.
Coach, after a couple of tough games to start this series, what was the message coming into this game to your team?
Our message into the weekend for me was like, man, like, what's inside? Like, how much guts do you have as an individual, and how much guts do you have? And that will make up how much guts we have. Like, is your response about you? Or is it mission-focused response, which is team? Is it fight or is it flight? But like, what's inside you, and how much guts do you actually have? Like, OU's supposed to win, so play loose, play free. play to a standard, not the circumstance, and let's see what we're made of this weekend. And I love our performance today, and we're in a ball game, and I'm excited to see what happens these next couple innings.
You know, real quick, you see those guts right now today in this performance so far?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey.
Starting with the circle with Kyra, you're right.
Hey, we appreciate you doing this. Good luck the remaining innings and the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Hotty toddy.
Jamie Traxel, she has been successful everywhere she has been. 16 years as a head coach, she's won nearly 2/3 of her games. Led this program to the World Series a year ago. You gotta love that. Show me how much guts you have in a series like this one against, look, they have been challenged. Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma. They're going to play Tennessee next weekend. That's your first 4 opponents right out of the chute. This is a Rebels team that has, that's a brutal stretch. You're bruised, you're battered, you're fighting as hard as you can, and let's tell it like it is. They were overmatched the first couple games this weekend, but there's been a terrific reset, refocus, and response today. They've got the 1-run lead in the late innings now. Berzon still in the circle for OU. This is Ryan Starr leading off for the Rebels.
I don't think anybody wishes to have the schedule that they've had to start SEC play. You know, it's just a true definition of a grind. And it's at times hard to stay confident. It's hard to stay positive because you're facing such good competition. And look, as a Division I player playing the SEC on any team, you're used to winning. Like looking up at your record and seeing 0-3 and then 0-6 and now 0-8. That's a tough pill to swallow as a player.
Swing and a miss. Good off speed from Berzon. That's her 3rd strikeout. Don't let her get into a rhythm. She has retired 7 in a row now.
Yeah, she's getting stronger as this game goes on, especially with that off-speed pitch, starting to mix it a little bit more. Just seems to me like watching Sydney Berzon pitch as Patty Gasso is going to come out and chat to her here. She's gotten stronger as this game has gone on, and I think that this is maybe the best outing that Sydney Berzon has had in an Oklahoma uniform. She's looked fantastic. Looks like Audrey Lowry might enter into this game.
Here comes Lowry. That has been their, you could say essentially their top arm just based on usage, wins, and all of the numbers. So Berzon and Lowry exchange a few words. Series finale in which Oklahoma is trying to sweep its opponent. They're down 1, and so Lowry is in the circle when we return.
But like sometimes when we think we have to be quicker, we know the speed of the runner, that speeds us up. Nope, we just get it, stay together, yeah.
Jamie Traxel talking with her catcher, Emily Bunker, who threw a runner out earlier tonight. Great insight. Mic'd up Mondays every week. Back in the circle now as we push deeper into this one. Audrey Lowry, 2nd in the ACC with those SEC with those 14 wins. She pitched well earlier this weekend. She replaces Sydney Berzon and faces the number 9 hitter, Taylor Malvin, with 1 gone in this 5th inning.
And Lowry's done a great job in her sophomore year. She has grown a ton since her freshman year, coming from the left-hand side, so this will be a change for the Ole Miss hitters that are going to see her come from that side. An increase in velocity for Lowry this year, with her drop ball increasing by a couple of miles an hour, as well as her rise ball, and that's what she's going to do. Drop, curve, rise, can also mix speeds well. Did a great job this season of splitting the zone with her rise ball and drop ball.
1-2's a little low. You like this move with an out here in the 5th inning?
Yeah, I think getting ahead of things, right? Like letting her go at Taylor Malvin and Kennedy Bunker, both left-handed hitters that she's going to face. And after Berzon gets an out.
And this should be the 2nd out here in the 5th inning. Barker puts it away.
And you like, too, the position for later on in the road that it puts Audrey Lowry in to give her the experience of entering into a tight game, somebody that you know you're going to rely a lot on. And you have this Series 1. Patty Gasso wants to get different pitchers, different experiences. And Lowry, for being a sophomore, this is a tight game for her to pitch in. That will help her later down the road.
It's a great point. Kennedy Bunker, by the way, is back in the box. She pitched in the opener, went 5 scoreless innings.
Yeah, she looked really good on Saturday night in Game 1, just some shutdown innings, and you can tell that she's a pitcher that's continuing to get more comfortable with the pitch calling in this new role for her. Last year pitched behind Sam Landry. Sam Landry was the ace of this Oklahoma staff. And this year it's looking like that ace is going to be Audrey Lowry.
The sophomore from Pittsboro, Indiana. Bunker nearly hit again. Did that clip a piece of the jersey? I guess not. She was hit by Berzon her last plate appearance. Wore one on the right shoulder. She's got a favorable count here. 2 outs, home 5th. The Rebels lead by 1. That's ball 4.
And it's tricky too, like that curveball that she just threw there and that she'll work in is a little bit of an off-speed pitch for her. Oftentimes these left-handed pitchers like to rely on that curveball, but a hard curveball, she uses her curveball as an off-speed pitch, coming in at about 60, 62.
Mackenzie Pickens bats. Gets hit. You've got a couple of Rebels on now.
Hard up and in, trying to work her with that curveball. Got her right on the elbow. Let's see. Patty Gasso just wants to chat with Lowry. Calm her down a little bit.
Feels like the stakes are just getting, they keep raising as this one gets deeper. Ole Miss by 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. A late lead against a top 5 Oklahoma team. That outscored them 24-2 in the first 2 games of this series.
Yeah, Ole Miss exactly where they want to be with the middle of their lineup coming up with Yama St. George on deck if she gets a chance in this inning. Patty Gasso going out to talk to Lowry, speak to her defense. Trying to calm everybody down.
Jamie Traxel is going to send a pinch runner out to second base. Now, every base runner, every run important in a game like this. Redinger, the pinch runner in scoring position. Pickens over at first, and it's Percy Llamas, the all-conference slugger from Eastvale, California, who faces Lowry. It's a left-on-left battle. Llamas is grounded out twice. Hit it hard to third, hit it hard to second. Bounces it foul.
Yeah, we just learned so much about Percy Llamas last year as a freshman at the SEC tournament because she just had such a big tournament that then she was, interviewed after the game and you got a chance to get to know her on set for SEC Now, and it's like she doesn't have a heartbeat. She is so stoic and steady in these moments.
Well, no one better to be at the plate. So Berzon and Lowry retire the first 2 batters of the inning. All of a sudden, you've got 2 Rebels on the base paths. This is important for Ole Miss to try to add another. That's in the dirt. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You're never comfortable with a 1-run lead against Oklahoma. I don't even think that you're comfortable with a 5-run lead against Oklahoma because of the way that they can score runs quickly. So any run that you can score here is big.
2-2 to Llamas. Takes it for a called 3rd strike. Inning over. And so Lowry does shut the door. Still
Frozer,
a 1-run lead.
Off-speed curveball gets the 3-hole hitter who loves these moments, but the lefty Lowry enters and strikes her out.
Let's now take a look at the best in the game, presented by T-Mobile. Kyra Aycock, the senior from outside of Atlanta, has given up just the 1 run tonight through 5 innings against this vaunted Oklahoma offense.
Yeah, she has been on her game for sure tonight. Got to face them in game 1 on Saturday. Took the loss, pitched 4 1/3, and gave up 4 earned runs against them, but really went to probably look at some video, think about a game plan, and has come out looking fearless against the best offense in the country.
She just went 1-2-3, by the way, in the 5th inning. Impressive outing tonight as Ole Miss seeks its first SEC win, its first win against a top 25 opponent. And you never know what a win like this could do, how it could change maybe the trajectory of your SEC season. Ella Parker, Kendall Wells, Gabby Garcia, 2, 3, and 4 to face her in this 6th inning. As she came into the 6th inning, had barely thrown 80 pitches. She has been efficient. She's only given up the 2 hits.
You know,
that's right down the middle for a strike.
Because I'm a dork, I went back and looked at the scores of the losses that OU has had the past 3 seasons.
Okay.
Wrote down
I'm
the scores,
yeah.
okay? They averaged in those losses 2.7 runs per game. We're talking about a team this season that has averaged over 12 runs a game. So the key to beat Oklahoma when you look back at those scores is you have to find an answer to their offense. You have to play strong defense. So think about that. And their losses, and there's only been 18 in the last 3 seasons, 2.7 runs per game that they've averaged.
That's in for a strike. It has certainly been, at least to this point, one of those nights where they have just been one step slow. Payoff, rolled. That's underneath Llamas's mitt. It's a base hit for Parker. A little shrug there to say, all right, hey, maybe we get it going right here.
Yeah, still a hard hit ball, and it's a play that you'd love to see your first baseman make. It's not easy. It pulls Llamas off the first base bag a little bit, but again, the exit velocity just enough to sneak past Llamas on a ground ball that did not come back up as she was expecting that ball to take another bounce when under her glove.
Nancy Evans, the pitching coach, out to talk with Aycock. This is really just the second time tonight that Aycock has allowed the leadoff runner, I should say the third time where the leadoff runner has reached base. The other instance, it was a Kendall Wells home run.
Well, and she's having this conversation right now because of who she's facing. Leadoff hitter gets on in Parker, and now you have to face Kendall Wells, who's either gone a strikeout or a home run on her first pitch, a missed pitch that is just out over the outside corner. Not enough. Took advantage of this mistake. I mean, Kendall Wells is clearly one of the best hitters in the entire country as a freshman this year. And so you want to come out, get in the same game plan, going up against her, understanding that one swing can give OU the lead, and she's already hit 25 home runs this year.
You look at that production. That's an All-American stat line for an entire season. She has done that at the halfway mark, essentially. It's just staggering. Here she goes. Big rip. Comes up empty. The nation's best. 25 homers after that solo blast 2 innings ago. And Aycock is now ahead in the count, 0-2.
That's that side of the plate and the location that I think about literally 8 or 9 times going back to yesterday's game. She is chased well out of the zone. So if you're Aycock on this 0-2 pitch, you're not throwing anywhere near the strike zone against Wells.
Big pitch, Parker at first. Swing and a miss. Down goes Wells. And it's now a new season high. 6 strikeouts for Aycock.
You have to be careful, and you can't give in. Well done by Aycock to go at Wells with the exact game plan that has worked against her in her last 5 or 6 at-bats. Nancy Evans went out to talk to her. She knew exactly what she wanted to do, and she executed it to perfection.
Next up, Gabby Garcia. Way out ahead of that one, strike 1. Wells just could not help herself in that at-bat. Just couldn't resist.
And you're not out of it yet, having to face Gabby Garcia right now by any means.
Bluffs the bunt. That pitch misses away. Yeah, right behind home run hitter who's got 25 on the year. You got Garcia with 15. Everybody in this order dangerous. Aycock she's gone toe-to-toe with just about all of them tonight. A super performance. A bunt right out in front of the plate. Who's going to go after it? Starr hesitated. It looked like Bunker, the catcher, had conceded to the third baseman, and then Starr hesitated. So they get to it late. You've got 2 Sooners on.
Well, and just well angled a little bit down the first baseline, noticing that Llamas, the first baseman, is anchored back to first base and be behind first base. So could not have put it in a better place, just in no man's land with the defense that Ole Miss was showing. Garcia, second time that she showed bunt in this AB, and she's still got Ole Miss on their heels. Perfect execution.
They've got 2 on now. Tying run is in scoring position, and Miner slashes that one foul. Sooners threatening, down a run in the 6th inning. They've won the first 2 games of this series quite easily. Couple of run rule victories. This one competitive finale. This terrific freshman hitting better than 500, 30-plus games into the season. Went yard twice yesterday. Reached on a fielder's choice earlier today and also walked. That's in the dirt. And now Bunker's going to go out to the circle to talk with Aycock.
You can see these moments, the strategized timeouts, feeling the momentum. Bunker knowing her pitcher. Want to go out and give her a little bit of love and reassurance about the game that she's pitched tonight, how great of a job that she's done. Just give her a little bit of a breather. You feel the intensity in the stadium now that Ole Miss still has the lead in the top of the 6th inning.
Oklahoma in the first 2 games, 20 hits. They had 34 base runners, whole bunch of walks. Today, a different story against Aycock. So the 2 hits in this inning, they've doubled their total. Aycock had only surrendered 2 hits through the first 5 innings. But they've got 2 on here with the 1 out. It's a tense 6th inning right now. Rolled over. First base side, Llamas. Can she get to the bag? She got there late. Bases are loaded.
She absolutely should have dove to the bag. She should not have gone with her foot. I think the only way that you get Minor's speed is to dive to the bag right there. Don't go with your foot. Dive with your glove to tag the bag. That is how she would have gotten her out. But Minor, great hustle out of the box. Didn't feel sorry for herself, rolling over a ground ball. And now OU has the bases loaded because of the freshman's hustle.
Some small ball in this inning for Oklahoma. Isn't that ironic? And they've got the bases loaded. Still just 1 out. And Alyssa Parker was scheduled to hit next. Patty Gasso is going to send up Isabella Emmering, a pinch hitter, to the plate in this situation. That is not a very well-timed error to commit.
Would have been a huge second out.
You've got the force at every base. You've got Evans speaking with Aycock. Traxel is always diligent about all of the defensive situations and possibilities in a scenario like this.
Well, I'm trying to turn a double play with the bases loaded. You have a double play opportunity with Emmerling at the plate. It's going to be tough with Minor at first base. It's going to put a little pressure on the force at second base. But if you're Ole Miss, you were thinking turn 2, Kyra Aycock is a ground ball pitcher, has the opportunity to do it.
First at bat for Emmerling, and that one is drilled. Goodbye! A game-changing grand slam for Isabella Emmerling.
Emmerling aggressive early and on a mistake right down the heart of the plate. Patty Gasso making the move to take Alyssa Parker out and Emmerling in, who has put up big home run numbers this season. 1 swing, first pitch, a mistake that she just rockets out of here for OU's second grand slam of the series.
Partner, that was just clobbered deep into the night. The Sooners have landed a punch. They're up 5-2 now, a game-changing, perhaps, grand slam. Bases are clear with 1 gone still, and Alyssa Parker, or pardon me, Ailana Agbayani hits now. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Aycock has made just 2 mistakes this entire game, and they've both been punished for home runs by OU. Emmerling, get your swing off. I mean, that is just right on time, full-blown power. Know that it's gone right off the bat. Unbelievable power.
The 2 mistakes in the inning is we mentioned the error commit over at first base. Now that That would have been the second out of the inning. However, if you have Emmerling do what she just did a moment ago, you're still now facing a deficit on that bunt single for Gabby Garcia. That was one that the Ole Miss defense just could not handle properly either. Those are a couple of what-ifs in this inning. That's down the line, no play for Starr.
And just finding different ways to win, different ways to produce. Ella Parker, great at bat to start off this inning with a ground ball that just snuck through the infield to find her way on, and then a quick strikeout after that. It looked like Aycock was going to get back on track, but you're right. To me, the turning point was Gabby Garcia showing the Ole Miss defense something different.
Right through Aycock's legs. Reeser's got to hurry. She's out. Agbayani thought she beat it out. As it stands right now, that's the second out. Gasso pointing into her dugout. What does she want to do? You get 2 challenges. This is maybe a why not. And they will indeed challenge this.
The call on the field is an out at first base. That call is being challenged by Oklahoma.
I thought first look, maybe she got there before that throw. We're going to slow things down and take a look ourselves.
Yeah, I think she's out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Watching it slow down here by a fraction.
Let's give credit where it's due to Jim Cooper, the first base umpire. I think he got this right live. Not easy to do. I don't think that there's a clear and obvious way to overturn this. Great hustle by Agbayani. These players just go so hard down the line. I think this is going to stand.
Yeah, those first 2 looks were very good angles at that one. By a hair. That throw, I agree with you. I think it beats her. It's in the back of the mitt right now. And, yep, that right foot not planted just yet.
Yeah. Look at this Hawkeye system that we have in the SEC. Just so clear. Really starts to leave no doubt in your mind for some of these close calls. That a look that we started to get to see last season. I think she's out.
Boy, you start to slow it down, and
you're looking too for not just for her foot to be on the bag, but to actually compress on the bag. There's a difference between the bottom of her cleat just touching the first base bag versus her actually getting to first base by compressing the bag, just noting that she's there.
Remember, we need something definitive for that replay review center to say, we have this to point to that shows we can overturn it. If you don't have anything definitive, the call would stand. So as it is right now, that would be the second out in the 6th.
After review, the affiliate ruling on the field has been changed.
Oh, so it is reversed.
You know, sometimes you just don't know with the replay reviews. You just do your best, and even when you do it your best, you still get it like 50% right, if that.
Well, by a hair, the by the hair was evidently maybe a spike stomping down on that double base. Is the foot down?
Yeah, it's about as bang as it gets. I mean, and again, I mentioned this. We saw it from Kai Minor and now Agbayani. You watch them go as hard as they could down the line to even make that play close, and then to get the call on their side by making it so close.
You know, I would assume what they perhaps used to rule on that, it must have been the heel. That the heel must have got a piece of the base. That's as close as it gets. That is as close as it gets.
I'm glad you don't have to like pass a test to be a broadcaster to get the replay review right or wrong. You know, like if that was a test that we had to pass to call games, because I would fail. I don't think I'd be calling games.
I have flip-flopped about 3 times in this sequence, by the way. Runner takes off for second, and so Agbayani gets there. So she is making the most out of this second life here around the base paths. But did she leave early? Are we going to get another challenge?
The call on the field is that the runner at first base left on time. That call is being challenged by Ole Miss.
All right.
Ailana Agbayani, really tempting fate here. By the way, this is a couple of sequences. Did she leave before that? Yeah. Does she leave before that pitch is released?
Yeah, she definitely did. So
that's clear.
That is a great job by the Ole Miss dugout. We talked about this yesterday, but there are coaches or players in the dugout looking specifically at the runner at first base or whichever base that they're going to be on to see if they left early. This is going to be, I think the third time that OU has left early in this series and has been caught for it.
This is going to be a short-lived trip on the base paths for Agbayani.
The call on the field is changed. The runner is out. The count remains no balls, no strikes on the batter.
Well, if you're Agbayani, you get a hit out of this sequence. Got that working for you. That's nice. What's more important is Oklahoma has scored the 4 runs here on that Emmerling clutch grand slam, and so they are back in front by 3.
Yeah, you can see in that dugout, I'm sure maybe that's the group that relays it to Traxel that she left early. You know, they're taking pride in their role and their job in the dugout that they got it.
This one's hit hard out to left. Barker flies out, inning is over. But it's clutch hitting. A pinch hit grand slam for Emmerling. Busts it back open for OU. Oklahoma turns a 1-run deficit into now a 3-run advantage after they loaded the bases. An error was committed by the Ole Miss infield, and Isabella Emmerling with a clutch pinch hit grand slam.
What a moment for her. You dream about that as a player, a pinch hit opportunity, and you get one pitch, send it out of the ballpark, give your team the lead, and hit a grand slam. That's her 7th career grand slam for Bella Emmerling, who now enters in to first base.
Yeah, this redshirt senior from Martinez, California. That was an absolute tank over the left field wall.
That was something. I mean, Percy Yamas in that 6th inning really being tested with the Ella Parker single that just went under her glove. She committed an error, a bunt down the first base line. Just a tough inning for Percy Yamas that led to that grand slam.
You know, and to put it objectively, of course, Ole Miss doesn't want to hear it, but there were a couple of missed opportunities defensively that just allowed that door to be opened ajar, and Emmerling busted it down.
I really think when you're playing OU, I think usually the mentality is like, let's just make the routine plays. We don't need to make the great plays. I think when you're playing OU, you got to make the great plays. Like, you have to make the routine plays for sure, but you have to make the great plays too.
The example of that would be how Parker reached to kick off the inning. If you're Yamas at first base, can you sprawl out to make that stop? Bad news is no one would have covered in time. How they handled the bunt. It's another so-so moment. Then the error, and all of a sudden they're loaded. And now you're down 5-2. The good news is they've got opportunities, but George goes down on strikes, and Audrey Lowry has struck out back-to-back.
Yeah, I love that pitch sequence from Lowry. She went down and in with her drop ball and then hard up and in right on the hands. I mean, that is a well-located rise ball to the power hitter of Maddie George. Lefty-on-lefty matchup for the K.
Cassie Biesner sends that foul down the right field line. Got Biesner and Roman due up for Ole Miss. Collectively, they're 0 for 4 today. But this is the first time they're facing Lowry. Sydney Berzon threw 4 1/3, retired the final 7 hitters she faced. And then Patty Gasso went to the bullpen. Just as Berzon was seemingly getting stronger. And Lowry comes in, retires the side in the 5th, strikes out George to begin this 6th inning. And so Ole Miss is down 3. They've only got the 5 outs to work with here.
Sydney Berzon, heck of a start for her. Her first start in SEC play, wearing an Oklahoma uniform. We had seen her in relief in yesterday's game, got the start today, and really it kind of seemed like it was the best outing of her season. She pitched very well.
Good pitching all around this weekend for Oklahoma. Throw in what Miley Wachenio did yesterday against her former team. Lowry and Parker were excellent in the opener. There's a base hit for Biesner. Smacked it right back up the box. Ole Miss needs to respond. They've got a base runner.
Just a good piece of hitting by Riesner there to just throw her barrel up at a pitch. That was just all hands, just trying to protect the plate with 2 strikes and got a single. Just throw her barrel at that pitch. That was coming up and out of her legs, a little bit off-speed pitch, so she was out of her legs, all upper body to muscle that single right back at the middle.
It's been a competitive series finale tonight in Oxford between these two. Oklahoma dominated the first couple of games, so it is going for the sweep. Ole Miss going for a comeback. That's off of Lowry's mitt. I don't think there's going to be a play. And the tying run is coming to the plate. Hard hit ball for Roman. Yeah, you earned a well-deserved hug. First hit of the night.
Striking out a couple of times, she goes up and is aggressive early, and she gets rewarded for it. Hard hit by Roman to put 2 on for Ole Miss. That was just shot right back up the middle of the field, as Roman loves to be right on top of the plate. And you know, too, with Lowry, she pounds the zone. High strike percentage, high first pitch strike percentage. So as a hitter against her, go up looking to hit early.
Tenley Grisham to pinch run. Eight base runners today for Ole Miss. I mean, they really struggled getting runners aboard the first couple nights of this series. They have displayed the guts. Leilana Applin represents the potential tying run in this bottom of the 6th inning. The Rebels just fell behind after Emmerling's top of the 6th inning grand slam. A 1-0. That's a bouncer up the middle. Over to Agbayani, and she mishandles it. Just rare mistakes being commit by this Oklahoma infield tonight, and particularly the last couple of innings.
That's a Gold Glover there at second base. It usually makes this pretty routine play, but a lot of spin off the bat, just kind of ate her up. She sat back there. Just bounced off the heel of her glove, let that last hop kind of eat her up, and now Ole Miss has the bases loaded.
And so Jamie Traxel is going to send a pinch hitter to the plate. In an eerily similar situation, Rachel Connors to bat. Biesner's at third, Grisham the pinch runner at second, Applin reaches on the error. Carly Keeney's going to slow things down.
Interesting choice to put into a left-handed pinch hitter against Lowry. This lefty on lefty matchup, and lefties are hitting about 80 points lower off of Lowry than right-handed hitters.
Traxel's going to Connors here to replace Ryan Starr, who was set to hit. Connors came into the game yesterday and doubled against Sydney Berzon. But that was the right-hander. Today she faces Lowry. Right down the middle for a strike. An entertaining sixth inning. The grand slam of the top half. Ole Miss loads them immediately afterward in the home half. This is a Rebels team. They start SEC play against Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma. They've taken 8 straight losses in league play. They're desperate for a win. Swing and a miss. That was a mighty cut.
And a mighty rise ball right through the zone, getting Connors to chase and getting ahead in this 1-2 count. Outfielders really far back, especially Kai Minor is taking a couple of steps in now.
Off speed, just off the outer edge. That was a really tempting pitch. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, going to that curveball that is an off-speed pitch for her, and Kendall Wells doing everything she can to frame it up, but not getting the call.
Count goes full.
That is a difficult pitch to take twice and in at bat if you're Connors and trusting your eyes that much to work it to a full count.
They're loaded. 1 out, bottom 6. The Rebels are down 3. Here's a payoff from Lowry. Ripped, but foul.
She shook to get to that rise ball right there. Whatever Kendall Wells, or the pitch that was called first, she shook it off to get to that rise ball. Because remember, Connors swung and missed on that pitch. So already making an in-at-bat adjustment on that rise ball. We'll see if Lowry goes down with the drop.
Who's going to make a clutch play? Pitch hit right now. Payoff. Swing and a miss. 2 gone.
And this does look like a drop ball that just stays up a little bit, but down. Great location. I love the reaction from Wells, the freshman, understanding how big that moment was for her pitcher and how big that K was.
Now it's the veteran, Taylor Malvin. Takes a strike. Got the heat that time, passed up on it. Malvin knocked in a run back in the 2nd inning, 1 for 2 today. This is the program veteran, the center fielder. 0-2. Ole Miss has got the potential tying run on base. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. Down goes Malvin. Lowry retires the side, digs down deep to get it done.
SEC Softball is presented by T-Mobile, America's best network.
Isabella Emmerling's game-changing grand slam in the top half of the 6th inning has the Sooners back in front, and now 3 outs away from their second straight SEC Series sweep.
Such a cool moment for her, and Patty Gasso is just learning so much about her team in this game for all the run rules that Oklahoma has put together this year, which is a large, high amount or high percentage of their games. What you really want to see as a coach is these games, your team, these players, and this situation, close games where the game is on the line. Who can I pinch hit? Who can I bring into relief? Who can I start? Who can I rely on? You love finding out this stuff about your team.
There's a line drive caught out in left field. Grisham runs down potential trouble off of Abby Dayton's bat. Nice defensive play. 1 gone in this 7th inning.
A great read by the left fielder here, Grisham, that sees it off the bat. Tough one to read in the hole there. Line drive, hard line drive right in the gap. Good read.
Pickering 1 for 3 today. Still Aycock in the circle. I think what's particularly interesting is just the juxtaposition of the situations that you talk about. What are you going to do in crunch time, late in the game, 1-run ball game? Oklahoma loaded the bases. They did it in a variety of ways, and that big blast brought them all home. In the bottom half of the 6th inning, Ole Miss with brilliant resolve and resilience to load the bases themselves. But it's Lowry who took over and shut the door with consecutive strikeouts.
Hey, look at the left on base, and for Ole Miss, they've left 7 on base. OU has only left 3 on base, especially because, of course, that grand slam that clears the bases. That always helps your left on base numbers.
Kyra Aycock over the first 5 innings gave up just the 1 run. That's it, and a couple of hits. And we don't want that to be lost in the shuffle here. I think Ole Miss has learned quite a bit here the last couple of weeks about what they've got in Aycock. That's the 2nd out of the inning. She did some great things on Saturday in the opener against Oklahoma. You know, if you look back, she had a really strong outing a couple of weeks ago against Texas, went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned. So this Ole Miss program, they did not play a power conference opponent until they started SEC play. And Aycock is the early returns here, if you will, in SEC play have looked pretty good.
Yeah, she's going to be the ace of this Ole Miss staff, and I think that these first few weekends in SEC play, she's made that clear. It's her experience. She has really good stuff. She had that great freshman year you talked about at Oklahoma State, where you saw really how good she could be, and then struggled a little bit her sophomore and junior year with command. But it's good and really awesome to see her look back to that freshman year form where she had really great stuff and challenged even this OU team her freshman year.
2-0 pitch on the way to Ella Parker. And as is typically the case against Oklahoma, the backbreakers are those 2 big blasts. She gave up the solo homer to Wells, and then Emmerling just unloaded on that first pitch she saw from Aycock.
Well, and both of the home runs that OU has hit tonight, the grand slam and Wells, were on the first pitch. So first pitch mistakes that OU was just ready to attack. And really, you look at the full 115 pitches that Aycock has pitched in this game, she has not made hardly any mistakes except for those 2. Wells with an opposite field home run, and then Emmerling with the grand slam, and that's it.
There's the rookie phenom, Wells. Took Aycock deep in the 4th. Aycock has struck her out twice, though. Fouls that one back.
They definitely have found a little groove here with pitch calling against Wells to stick on that outside corner, low and away, drop ball right at the knees, and seeing if she'll move with them even a ball or two off the plate and chase.
Strike two.
Just continuing to work that exact same pitch.
Aycock trying to send this to the bottom of the 7th inning. Her team's down 3, 0-2. Fouled back.
Well, and you know, every one of OU's opponents is going to go back and watch this film as soon as they see, oh, Kendall Wells struck out what,
2 times yesterday as
4
well.
4 times in the Ole Miss series. Okay, let me go back and see how they pitched her, and it's going to be the exact same pitch over and over and over again, and now other teams are going to target the same area.
Fouled again. That's spoiled off to the right.
I mean, I would say there is a 0% chance that she will see anything inside in this at-bat. Like, to finish it off, it's 0-2. Like, maybe do we want to show her something different and go inside because we've been showing her a lot out? Nope, stick to the outside corner.
She's fouled off the last 2 pitches. Parker's over at first. Wave and a miss, strike 3, and Aycock has fanned her 3 times. 7 strikeouts for Aycock. It's a new season high. Her team has got a rally in the bottom of the 7th.
Strikeouts for Audrey Lowry, and 3 came in the 6th inning. She struck out the leadoff hitter on a rise ball, then got herself into a jam with the bases loaded and struck out back-to-back hitters. Was nails in that moment where Ole Miss could have stepped up and either tied up this game, gotten some more runs on the board. A relief outing for Lowry of Sydney Berzon, who had a great quality start, putting OU in a position to win.
They're 3 outs away from their 2nd straight sweep. Last weekend, it was the offensive barrage against Auburn. I suppose we saw that as well this weekend. First couple of games, Oklahoma outscores Ole Miss 24-2 in those first 2 wins. And this one, they were tested. Yeah, this was just a very compelling game from the start. An entertaining one here to close out this weekend of SEC softball. Good news for Ole Miss, they get the top of the order here to face Lowry. They need the rally. Kennedy Bunker leads off. She's walked once. She was also hit by a pitch. Then you got Pickens and Llamas expected up.
Yeah, right where you want to be with 1, 2, and 3 in your order due up. But the unfortunate part for Ole Miss, 3 of those first 4 hitters in the lineup are left-handed hitters. Just a tough matchup with Lowry and her lefty spin.
0-2. That time Bunker laid off it. The Rebels scored first, 2 in that 2nd inning. And they carried a 2-1 lead into the 6th inning. Is that fair? That is just foul. And that 6th was when OU, in a methodical manner, we're obviously, we have explained so often how Oklahoma can jump on a team so quickly. They slowly but surely put runners on base. One reached on a bunt single, another a slow bouncer through the right side, then an error, and then bang, the grand slam. Wave and a miss. That is 3 straight punch outs for Lowry.
I'm just loving this rise ball in that she's throwing to these left-handed hitters. This is a low rise ball. Bunker swings underneath it. Great location. That pitch against these lefties has been working all night.
She's recorded 6 outs, Lowry has. 5 of those the punch up via the strikeout. Ole Miss has 2 outs to work with. Jamie Traxel said to you pregame, I was pretty straightforward with this bunch. Before today's game, it was, what sort of guts are you going to show us after losing in the manner in which they did the first couple of nights? And I think we've certainly all been impressed here to see the fight, the resilience, and how this Ole Miss team carried itself first 5 innings of the game.
Yeah, and we'll say it over and over again, Kevin, but the tone is set in the circle.
Hit hard, right back to Agbayani, 2 gone.
And Kyra Aycock set the tone when she came into the first inning, struck out the first batter, faced the minimum in that first inning, got herself out of a situation where she walked a batter, but then caught stealing by Bunker, a couple strikeouts in that inning, and Kyra Aycock set the tone for the guts, the intensity, the fight for this Ole Miss team.
Last chance, Percy Llamas deep in the hole, a strike. Garcia finishes the job with a beautiful defensive play, and the ball game is over. Oklahoma wins its 21st straight and has swept its first 2 opponents in SEC play to start 6-0. And they're right there at the top of the league with their rivals, Texas.
And OU clearly has some fight too. We talked about it from the Ole Miss side, but to have a comeback win if you're OU, which is their 10th of the season, they showed some fight too for the sweep on the road. Tough to do.
Next up for Ole Miss next weekend, they face Tennessee. So this barrage of just brutal opponents continues. Meanwhile, for the Sooners, they go to Baton Rouge next weekend, and they will face LSU, a top 25 battle there down on the Bayou. So they sweep Ole Miss. That does it for us in Oxford. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did tonight in Oxford. For Amanda Scarborough, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald, and for the rest of the crew, we say good night. Let's go to the studio now.